Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many Hermes dragging videos that are due for Vlogmas. Today we're going to focus on the US. However, I have many. I have ones coming up about Toronto, Vancouver, Seoul, Ho Chi Minh City, Abu Dhabi. There's so many great big H dragging stories that are coming, so make sure that you stick around. Okay, so basically I'm just going to share some crazy stories that I found as usual, okay, about big H being mean to clients and people moaning about it on the internet, and it never gets old to me. I hope you guys don't find these videos boring because they're just so hysterical for me to like create and research. And then we're going to talk about some Paris stuff at the end of the video. Okay, so the first story is actually from Hermes Dallas. I'll put it up on the screen, but I'll summarize it because I've basically summarized each one of them up here. So this particular client was really excited. She was like, okay, I'm going to the Dallas boutique. She had put an order for, I think she had put an order for a Lindy or a mini Lindy because I'm remembering from memory, but it was a Lindy basically, okay? She's super happy. She's excited, and she even makes like the effort to dress up and wear makeup the day they tell her to come and pick up her bag, okay? So then she gets there, and then the SA, gives her the box, and then she opens, well, she wants to open the box, and then the SA like says in a mean way, like, you don't know what your bag looks like. So, making the client feel bad for wanting to see the bag. This is not the first time I've heard this in a lot of these like big H reviews and even Chanel reviews. Like when someone is purchasing a bag, the SA will just put it in the box and just give them the box, or whatever. And then when they want to look at the bag or even just to touch it, the SA gets upset. I think there's a difference between wanting to inspect a bag in like this annoying troll way, and there's a difference between wanting to see your bag in the box. Like, I don't need to inspect it like with a magnifying glass because I'm not an Hermes expert. I don't know like what I'm looking for. I'm going to assume that they're selling me a brand new fresh bag, and I'm sure Big H wouldn't want to like hurt their reputation like doing all kinds of shenanigans that Louis Vuitton are known for, because we know Louis Vuitton are known for shenanigans, honey, okay, with the website sending people returned items. But I think it's so unfair for them to like kind of, for the SA to make her feel bad, like for wanting to look at the bag and for wanting to actually see it physically. Like, you don't know what your bag looks like. That's such a passive aggressive comment. And I think that she's right to like be upset about that. I feel like I would be upset about that as well. Like, why are you like being mean? And I just want to see, what the bag looks like. Okay, she knows what the mini Lindy looks like, okay? She knows what her Lindy looks like, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have the right to actually see the bag. So I thought this was a really interesting story. This is from the Dallas boutique in Texas. By the way, fun fact, the highest amount of Tanzanian people who live in America actually live in Texas. So Texas is known as Little Tanzania in Tanzania. So that's a fun little fact for you guys. Look, I'm sorry. She's allowed to see that the Lindy is in the box. I don't know about being like, ooh, let me inspect every single nook, cranny, and curve. And that doesn't sound like what she was trying to do. She just wanted to see that the bag was in the box. The way that the SA spoke to her is absolutely bang out of order, and we can't accept stuff like that. Normally in most of these videos, I do tend to kind of defend the SAs a little bit, because I do think that there are lots of unreasonable, extremely annoying, entitled people who go into these boutiques and who are very annoying. Trust me, when I had my retail boutique, we used to get people who were extremely annoying, okay? But this particular person is not annoying at all, and I don't think it's wrong for her to actually want to see the bag. I'd love to know what you guys think about that, because I just think it's so rude to be like, you don't know what your bag looks like. So basically kind of telling her like, it's a Lindy, you're the one who ordered the Lindy, okay, and you don't know what the Lindy looks like. I think that is absolutely bang out of order. The next story is from the Chicago boutique again. This boutique constantly gets dragged, honey. Okay, it's constantly being dragged. So this is actually a recent review. There's a gentleman who left a review and said, if you want to feel invisible, like, go to the Chicago boutique wearing gym clothes and they will treat you like a commoner. That's the word that he used in the review. You can read it up here on the screen. It's not my word, it's his word now. and he basically said he was just ignored and treated badly because he was wearing gym clothes. So like, if you want to just see like the way you're treated, you know, we've talked about this a lot of the times on the channel about how people are judged, you know, for the way they dress at Big H. I still feel like Big H are looking for a certain type of client in terms of the way that the person dresses, and for them that is important. There's some of you, I think in my previous video when we talked about it, some of you said, well, how come, you know, I, you know, go and I've worn trainers and I've worn this and that and I wasn't treated badly. I think this is just my opinion, okay, it's just my opinion. I think if you're a regular client at the boutique and you have like an essay and everything, I don't think that it's like a big deal for you to like go into the store wearing trainers, wearing, you know, trackies, or, you know, wearing a sweatshirt because you're going to the gym. I think they'll be like, oh yeah, that's our client, that's Kagem, but she spends X amount per month, or she spends X amount every quarter. Whereas I feel like if you are dropping into the store, like maybe for the first or second time, and you are wearing gym clothes, you're probably going to be ignored, particularly in these like cities where there is actually a lot of competition, there's a lot of money. Chicago, you know, is a very famous city. Even for someone like me who lives in Tanzania, I've never been to Chicago, but I've heard of Chicago. It has a very vibrant financial services industry there as well. So there's a lot of money, you know, sloshing about in that particular market. So I think this idea that, you know, you're gonna walk in, okay, into the boutique and you're going to be wearing gym clothes and you're going to get the red carpet rolled out for you. I mean, I think that's a little bit like unrealistic. Like, that's just my opinion. That doesn't excuse the way that this client was treated. And it seems that this particular review, the way he was writing it, it sounds like he's actually a Big H client, and he just said, hold on, wait, let me just go into the Chicago store wearing gym clothes and see how I was treated. And he was literally ignored. Like, he just walked in, they ignored him. I guess they thought, well, you're wearing gym clothes, you look quite casual, you're probably not a client, you probably don't want to buy anything, you're probably just window shopping. And I think that is something that's happening. So a few days ago, I was actually in a Chanel group and on Facebook, and someone left a really interesting comment. There was like a discussion about like the way people are treated in boutiques and things like that. And someone was basically saying, like, because of like social media and influencers and people just taking pictures for their own Instagrams, like these houses, they're very tuned into the fact that they're people just coming into the store either to, you know, shoot shopping vlogs and to shoot videos like that and not buy anything, and to shoot things for their TikTok and for their Instagram and to build their own profile but not to buy anything. Do you guys remember that really famous story that I shared on my page from the Toronto boutique in Canada of how someone walked in and he wanted to buy something. He said, oh, I'm just going to take my phone out and film a tiny little vlog for my Instagram, and got yelled at by the security guard, and he felt really bad. And a lot of you are like, the client was bang out of order, the security guard was doing his job. So I think in this kind of situation, I know it's harsh because you never know who has money or not. I don't think Big H's issue is whether you have money or not. And I was actually telling Edwin this because Edwin was asking me about the psychology of Big H, and I was explaining it to him because obviously, you know, we're going to Paris soon, and you know, I was because he was like, well, how do they know? Someone could walk in, you know, looking like a freaking mess, honey, okay, and have tens of millions of pounds. And I was telling Edwin, I was like, I don't actually really think that they care. Like, I've actually just realized it. I think that they really care the way you look. So whether you have all that money in your bank account, that's between you and God at the end of the day. I think Big H are like, no, you're not really the type of person who we want here. So, I mean, I think it's unfair, but I personally wouldn't go into Big H wearing gym clothes. That's just me. Frankly, I don't even know if I would feel really comfortable going to like a really nice, I mean, to be honest with you, okay, let's just put it this way. This person, I think, was doing it as an experiment, but would you go to like a really nice restaurant wearing gym clothes? No, you wouldn't. Big H is a luxury retail boutique. Yes, it's a shop, but it's still a luxury shop. I mean, would you go there looking, you know, a sweaty mess in gym clothes? What do you think about that? Please, by the way, please don't feel attacked if you've gone into Big H wearing gym clothes. As I've said, I feel like if you are a regular at the store, they don't care, but I feel like a new person walking in wearing gym clothes, they're just going to be like, bye. Okay, the next story is from the Washington DC boutique. This is one of the most controversial boutiques, like all over social media, across all of these reviews. This Hermes boutique has been dragged to the abyss, honey, okay? Literally, it's been dragged to the underworld, has come back to earth, been dragged again. It's always getting terrible reviews. I haven't really talked about it in detail, so I wanted to talk about it today. I read a bunch of reviews. I wanted to spotlight this one, so I thought this was so interesting. So there's this client who actually wanted to buy a riding helmet, and I was like, whoa, you rarely hear, particularly in my my big H, like, you know, shenanigans on the internet, when I'm looking for these stories, I rarely read reviews where people reference equestrian. And we know that equestrian is like a hot commission-rich category for essays. We know that, and I definitely have heard this in tons of groups, that if you walk into any Hermes boutique and you say, I'd like to purchase a saddle, okay, or I'd like to purchase anything for a horse, they will take you very seriously. And if you quietly ask for a handbag, you're going to be offered a bag. That is generally accepted, okay, give or take. Now, when I read this review, I was really shocked because she was saying that she walked in and she wanted to purchase a riding helmet. She even writes how much it costs, $960, and she was treated really badly. And she was treated like her purchase, you know, didn't mean anything, and her request didn't mean anything. And that's so wild to me, because we know how important equestrian is for Big H. Like, why would they treat someone like that really badly? Because obviously, if she's coming in to buy a riding helmet, she either owns a horse or she has access to a horse, okay? I have friends who are involved in horses and horse riding. It is a very expensive hobby. Horses are expensive, honey, okay? They are luxury animals, sweetheart. And, you know, the fact that she'd be walking into ask for a riding helmet, she'd probably come back another day and ask for a saddle. So why wouldn't you treat her well? And I must say, I was quite shocked when I read this review, because I was like, whoa, like, why wasn't this person treated well? I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Ages ago, I remember in one of my older Big H videos, before I had a lot of subscribers, there was a great comment from someone who said that they actually are this particular person was saying that she is an equestrian and she'd actually requested a saddle from Big H and she was treated very well. And that's just a general feeling that I think most of us know. Like, if you're involved with horses and equestrian, and if you go to the boutique and you ask about it, like, they will treat you really well, because they're not going to get as many requests for that as they are for, like, you know, fashion jewelry, or, you know, the handbags, you know, and accessories. So I just thought that was so interesting. And yeah, now let's move on to the next story. Okay, the next story is actually from some part of the US. However, I don't remember the Big H boutique of exactly where, because I was reading this on my phone a few nights ago when I was researching this video, and the story was crazy, okay? So I'm just gonna narrate it to you guys because it was so crazy. I've been thinking about this story for a few days, and I was like, I need to tell you guys about it, but it's definitely from the US, and it is an Hermes boutique. So this is what happened. So there's a client who walked into an Hermes boutique with a friend, and it seems that they were just trying to score without spend. So they go to the sales associate and they ask for a Birkin, just straight up. You haven't bought anything, you haven't spent a pound, shilling, or a euro, okay? And you just ask for a bag. And then the SA is like, no, we don't have any bags. And then a few feet away, they see another client being offered like 2 Birkins. And then they tell the SA, well, how come she's being offered, you know, 2 bags? And then the SA is like, okay, cool, I have a bag for you. And then the SA brings out a process croc Birkin, okay? This story to me is hysterical. And then the client basically was writing the review saying that the SA was really rude. They asked for a standard leather handbag, Birkin, and then the SA says no. Then when they called her out on the fact that someone else is getting something, she then offers them, you know, a Process Birkin, which is obviously an exotic piece. By the way, like a Birkin 30 croc is 55,000 US dollars. Okay, let's think about that for a second. So when I was reading this story, to be honest with you, I kind of feel like the client is wrong. First of all, okay, you broke like one of the cardinal sins of Big H. There are many cardinal sins of Big H, and maybe that can be a video. Would you guys be interested in hearing about top things not to do at Big H, like from research and from talking to a lot of you guys. Maybe you'd be interested, let me know. They broke one of the cardinal rules, which is number one, you never, ever, ever, ever refer to another client's sale, purchase, or order. And least of all, you would never do it like physically in the boutique and be like, well, how come Kagame over there, you know, point and be like, how come Kagame over there, you know, got offered a bag and I didn't. Like, that is number one, you never do that. And I feel like they did that to like, to kind of, you know, try and show up the SA, and then the SA put them on the spot like, okay, you want a Birkin, yeah? Okay, no problem. Bring her out, bring her out. Bring her out right now. Here's the Process Birkins. You're talking all this big talk, buy this. I just kind of feel like if you're going to do the trying to score cold thing, I think you need to go in with a better strategy, and I don't think you can go in with a sort of like whingy moany kind of strategy. Well, how come that person got offered, you know, 4 bags and whatever? I think I told you guys before, like a few weeks ago, I just saw an unboxing. It was in a language I don't understand, and the YouTuber literally was offered like a Kelly at Sevra, and she like filmed it. And this is during the time when on the purse forum so many people were saying, oh my god, there are no bags, there are no bags, there are no bags, there are no bags, like no one is scoring a bag. Like, this is all over the purse forum and Facebook, and yet on YouTube someone was offered a bag and literally filmed it. I don't think it's in good taste to then be like, okay, I'm gonna go to Big H to kind of whinge and moan about that and complain about it. I think that makes you look like a complainer. And no one really likes a complainer. You know, like those really annoying people with terrible behavior in public who can't kind of pull themselves together. I don't know, call me old-fashioned, but I'm just the kind of person where like, I will not be able to lose my cool like in the boutique. You asked for a Birkin. You called out the SA. The SA brings out a croc Birkin that you don't want to buy. I mean, what else do you want the SA to do at this point? I need to know what you guys think about that. I thought that story was so interesting. I've been thinking about it for a few days because I just feel like people need to understand that everyone pretty much except for unicorn stories is spending money at the store. I want to kind of talk about this as well. So there is an account that I follow on Instagram, and it seems that this person is a Big H VIP. She has a lot of exotic pieces, a lot of standard leather pieces. She has ready-to-wear pieces. She has a lot of like top tier handbags that a lot of you guys like and want, and with all the colors and everything. So she posts these like really cool flat lays. Now the flat lays, and don't ask me to say who she is. I don't have anything against her. I actually really like her account and her page, and I like her account and her page because she doesn't pretend that she's buying all of these things without buying other things. So for example, she posts like flat lays where she'll have like, you know, mini Kelly and croc or something, or she'll have another really coveted handbag that's maybe a standard leather handbag. But then she'll have like other things which they absolutely want you to buy. You know, she has like really expensive, exotic clutches, like the Jig wallets in exotic. She's got those like Kelly wallets in exotic. She's got all these other things which cost a fortune, okay? I think I saw an exotic Kelly wallet like in full alligator, and it was like $14,000. Like, that's crazy. I mean, buy that at FSH without an appointment, ask for an appointment, they're gonna give you an appointment. You know what I mean? Everyone to a degree is spending money, and anytime I talk about this on my channel, I always get a lot of pushback from some of you guys, but I have to really put my flag down on the ground here and say that there are very few unicorn stories. So what happens is when someone has a unicorn experience at the Stallion, and generally speaking, it's for the larger bags in the colors that are not desirable, that makes other people feel like, okay, I'm just gonna walk in and ask for a Birkin, and then I'm gonna be like, hey, that person got offered a bag, how come I wasn't offered a bag? Well, you weren't offered a bag because you weren't offered one. We all know you are not supposed to reference another client's situation at the Stallion. End of. Do not do that. That is going to make you look really, really bad to your SA. It goes without saying, at the end of the review, they said that they left because they didn't want to buy a croc Birkin. Well, guess what, okay? The SA put you on the spot, okay? And she tested you and you failed the test. Tell me what you think about that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit notifications, go follow me on my socials, Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, and also please join my Facebook page and join my Facebook group. I beg your pardon. We're having a lot of fun in there. I'd love to see you guys there. So please make sure that you join the Facebook group actually, because when I go to Paris, I'll be posting tons of updates there first before I film videos. And if I score, okay, please God, if I score at Big H, okay, I will probably post the first reveal in the Facebook group first. So make sure that you go join us there. Don't worry, the group by now should be fully private, so no one can see that you're part of the group. I've changed the privacy settings because it wasn't private before, but now it's completely private. So hope to see you guys there. Make sure that you watch all the way until the end. We have a lot more that we need to talk about. In all of my research that I've been doing for my Paris trip when it pertains to Hermes, there's one massive theme that comes up over and over and over again about the 3 Parisian boutiques. Many people on social media, particularly on Facebook, where I found a lot of this info from, many people feel like Hermes are actually slowly transitioning the Faubourg Saint-Honoré, Sèvres and Georges V boutiques into being these places where the game is played. The game has to be played. Many people, particularly in a lot of Facebook groups, have said you need to spend money in order to buy things, to score an appointment at the boutique. To be honest with you, while FSH, Sèvres and Georges V, you don't need to spend money to get an appointment. You could get an appointment with £0, on your books. The way things are happening there at the moment, the game is being played in the 3 Parisian stores. They're just quite clever about the way they do it. They make sure that they have a specific amount of appointments every day where the person hasn't spent a pound, shilling or a euro to acquire a Birkin, a Kelly or a Constance. And then they have another chunk of appointments where people have been spending, buying little bits and pieces the day before and then going to an appointment the next day. And then they have those like standby appointments where people are waiting and waiting and waiting, or someone has, bought a watch, with a diamond in it, or bought a fine jewelry diamond bracelet, or an exotic, wallet. One of the Gig ones, some of the Gig wallets are like 15,000 euros, like 17,000 euros, those Gig clutches. So I think that's what they're doing. They make sure that they have enough of those slots where people can score without spending any money. But a lot of people, from what I have seen, particularly in the past year, researching this topic, and definitely the past 3 months, because I knew that I was going and that I am going. From my research, I've really seen that I think and I agree that they are transitioning these stores to be this kind of hybrid model where some of the appointments require no spend, like you don't need to spend a pound, penny, shilling or euro, and then some of the other appointments are people who, they look at your profile and they see that you have actually spent some money, because now when you go there for the appointment, they can see 100% like with your name, like okay, they can see basically your French profile to see if you've bought anything. So at the end of the day, think about it. Let's say you're going for an appointment, right? And there's someone next to you who's also going for an appointment, and you haven't spent anything in the Parisian boutiques, like at all. You haven't spent anything. And the person next to you has spent like 2,000 euros buying, like homewares and buying cashmere and all of this. Like, who looks better to the SA? I hate to say it, but I think we all kind of know the elephant in the room. It's not saying that you have to technically spend money, but people are spending money. Another theory that many people are talking about on social media, I also believe this, again, cannot prove it, no one can prove anything here, it's just speculation, is that if you buy something, the algorithm for the appointment is more likely to give you an appointment. I literally saw someone on TikTok, I watched a TikTok video of a woman who bought a few bits and pieces the day before, she applied and got an appointment. Like, literally like that, you get me, like instantly she gets an appointment. And then before, when she hadn't bought anything, she didn't get an appointment. I also read it in a bunch of Facebook groups as well. People buy a few things before and then get an appointment, okay? That's not a guarantee that you're going to get an appointment. It doesn't work all the time. But I think that they're doing a hybrid model. Again, I can't prove anything, okay? These are just theories because I have a lot of time at the moment. Edwin and I are planning our Paris trip. I'm so excited to go to Paris in January. So I have time to think about this stuff, honey, okay? And in my thinking, a lot of this makes sense, okay? A lot of this makes sense. There are a few of you who have scored, who have shared your stories with me. And I think the most recent story that I shared was one of my subscribers who scored a really beautiful, hard to get Constance. And she bought things the day before and then she got an appointment. So I think at the end of the day, the FSH, Georges V and Sevres are moving towards a hybrid model where the game is played. If you want to be a player, you need to play the game a little bit. We have all heard those stories. I literally read this in this one group. Like, someone went to buy a watch, okay? And I think they chose a watch that literally had like a diamond in it or had a few diamonds in it or something like that. It was like a nice timepiece. It wasn't that pricey. They bought the watch, they gently asked for an appointment, and literally they were like inputted manually into the system by the SA who asked the leather manager or the leather appointment person. So if that isn't proof that there are games and shenanigans happening at the 3 Parisian boutiques, I don't know what is. So, I mean, just the way I kind of feel about this is, it kind of makes sense why the game at FSH is happening now is because there's too much competition. I feel like in a situation, particularly right now, December, the requests will be crazy because obviously the Christmas holidays are coming up. But I feel like there are just too many people who want appointments. Something else that you need to note is that people are also competing with, for example, French citizens who live in other parts of France. Like, for them, they can apply for an appointment, jump in the car and drive to Paris and be at the appointment. And of course, people who also live in other European cities, it's not hard at all. I remember we'd always, like, when I was living in the UK, you'd always just jump on the Eurostar from London to Paris. You're there in no time. It's easy. And it's particularly for people in the UK, it's very easy. You just jump on the Eurostar and you're already in Paris, and then you can, go to your appointment. That's why the competition is so high. And then you have the sort of global, worldwide, non-EU competition as well. So I think that the game at FSH, Sevres and Georges V is going to be refined. I think that it is absolutely happening. There are too many of these stories, okay, that are happening and that people are coming back on social media to share, like, this happened to me, this happened. I've literally seen on every single platform, forums, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, okay, people saying that they had to buy a few bits and pieces before they got an appointment, and then suddenly, magically, the algorithm generates an appointment, okay? That is by design. They are trying to let us know, okay, that yes, some of you are going to score without spending any money. That's absolutely fine. But a lot of you are going to learn that there's a game to be played. It is what it is. If you want to score a bag at this company, you have to follow their rules. In a way, I'm quite grateful for Louis Vuitton and Cartier. Frankly, even Chanel, even though Chanel is now kind of trying to create their own game, because at the end of the day, you can walk into any Cartier boutique, you can say, I would like to purchase this love bracelet. They're going to say, yes, madam, or yes, sir, you could buy it. Go do that in Hermes and be like, hello, I would like to buy that. Constance would be like, hello, it is for display purposes only. It's not for sale. Something else I wanted to update you guys about, because I think there's a lot of confusion about this. How many bags can you score per year in Paris? Well, this is literally how many. You can get 2 bags a year in Paris, but it's on a rolling basis, basically. So you have to, like, give yourself a 6-month break. So for example, let's say by God's grace I score in January and I get a quota bag, a bag in the Kelly or Constance. Then I would need another 6 months. I wouldn't be able to get an appointment or to score a bag. Even if you got an appointment, they wouldn't offer you a bag because they'd be like, hey, you just got a bag in January. So there are a few of you who actually left some comments in some of my older Paris videos saying, hey, I just bought a bag 3 months ago, I'm going back to Paris. And I remember one of you, I told you, I said, oh, I don't know if they're going to offer you the bag unless you're like a big spender or a VIP, because you've already just been offered. So if you were offered a bag, okay, you then have to wait 6 months until you can go to Paris to try again. As with all things, rules can be broken. If you are a six-figure VIP shopper in your home boutique and you spend a lot of money and you are going to spend a lot of money in FSH, you will be offered multiple bags. We've heard about this. This is no shocker at all. I literally heard of this as well. In this one group, there's a VIP in this group and she spends a lot of money in her home store, and she spent a lot. Her haul was huge, okay? And to respect her privacy, I'm not going to repost the picture. And literally, she was offered like 3 bags that she could buy, and she could buy all 3 of them. I think that they bend the rules for the people who are going to spend the most money. It's a business decision at the end of the day. So just be aware of that. It's every 6 months. So if I score in January, I won't be able to score until 6 months are done. And even then, you have to really make sure it's 6 months. Like, don't be that person who's like, okay, I'm going to go and try and score after 5 months, because they're going to probably deny you. So you might be curious, am I going to buy something before trying to get an appointment? Absolutely. So my kind of strategy, and by the way, I have like a very detailed strategy that I'm keeping to myself for now. So I want to try it out. But part of my strategy is basically, as soon as we get there, I will go to whichever boutique is closest to the hotel. I'll get down there as soon as I can, and I'll buy something small. I actually saw this Kelly double toe bracelet in Exotic. I think it's actually an alligator. I think this is perfect for me. I am actually kind of interested in the idea of just buying this or buying plates. I feel like everyone buys plates, so I feel like and by the way, I like their tableware and I like their kitchenware, and I would buy it anyway, even if there wasn't a quota bag on offer. But I feel like if I take the Kelly double toe bracelet in Exotic, I feel like I have a way bigger chance of getting the appointment with the algorithm thing. I know there are going to be some of you like, again, that's not true. Guys, okay, don't fight me, it's kind of true. I've just read, there are just too many stories proving it, like literally, there are too many stories. So I don't mind playing the game a little bit. I remember reading in this one group, someone spent like 5,000 euros like on pre-spend to bulk up their profile. I was like, so give me that 5,000 euros, let me go buy my ready-to-wear Chanel. I am not spending 5K without a bag, honey, okay? Because I need my bag. My limit is 1,500 euros. I believe this Kelly double toe bracelet in USD is like 1,150. So in euros, it should be maybe 1,000 euros, give or take, something like that, or maybe a little bit more or a little bit less, but it won't be more than the US dollar price. So it'll be about me around 1,000, something like that. So I think I might go down this route, but I don't know. I might change my mind and just get there and be like, well, let me just, keep it, let me just keep it, real, just get the plates. But I feel like if I buy this, which by the way is something that I like and that I actually want and I think is very beautiful, I don't believe in buying things that you don't like. I know lots of people have theories about this. When it pertains to Big H, I love their exotics. So I'm being true to myself. I love their homewares, their tableware stuff. And I really like their pillows and things like that, and their blankets. So I'd be happy buying things that I actually like, but I don't like the idea of spending a lot of money doing pre-spend without the appointment. I kind of like the idea of buying 1 or 2 nice pieces that will look good on your profile, because this would look good on a profile, do you know what I mean? And then you can see if you can get the appointment. So that's kind of where I stand right now. So yeah, as I told you guys, if I get the appointment, I will update it first in my Facebook group if I score, just generally speaking. So make sure you go join us on Facebook. We're having a really great time there. Love to see you guys there. If I score, I will film a video. If I fail, I will come back and film a video, and I'll be very transparent about my experience, because I feel like that's the most important thing. I feel like when it comes to the Stallion, there's a lot of clout chasing on the internet, if I can be blunt, with a lot of people who are influencers who do this because it's their job. This is not my job, so I don't need to pretend. I don't need to protect relationships. I just need to protect my channel and not be cancelled from YouTube, okay? So I'm going to be very clear with you guys and be very honest. Win, lose or draw, I'm coming back here to update, and I promise I will. I'm not going to be quiet and be like, oh guys, I didn't get it back, I can't talk about it. No, I will take myself, okay, to Balenciaga, to Chanel, and go get my ready to wear. Okay, you guys, if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to see you guys here for all of Vlogmas. I am so excited for all of the videos this month. I think you guys are really gonna like them as well. So as I said, join me on Instagram, join me on TikTok, and join my Facebook group as well. And yeah, tell me what you guys are going to be buying from Hermes for Christmas. I'd love to know what you guys think about that as well. And one more thing, I think in 2022, even beyond Paris, I'm going to be traveling and doing tons of travel. So I'm going to have a chance to play the big H game, more broadly speaking. So when it pertains to Paris, of course, I would love to score in Paris so much, but I'm not too worried if I don't score there because I know I'm going to get other chances to see other Hermes stores as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow in my next video.